Welcome to your known unknown, where Source and I will help to shed light for what's unknown to you. This is going to be a polling for air signs. Air signs alike. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And yeah. I was like, wait a second, that math. Yeah. And with that, it's going to be a general polling for the year of 2025. Happy 1/1/25, everybody. I hope this message finds you well. I hope you're living your best self right now, loving your best present moment. I think we all need a little more of that in our daily mindsets and routines. So without further ado, I'm going to pull some animal spirit card oracles, and we are going, thank you, I didn't even pray yet. And we are going to pull a tarot message, that which we need to see for air signs. All right, without further ado, let's get to it. Let's into it, and let's pull some cards. Angels, spirits, guides, ancestors, universes. Please give us the best message, best effective, efficient, clear message reading that we can possibly for air signs for 2025. Thank you. First cards up, we have Raccoon, Oracle, Spirit, Animal, the Raccoon, Earth Element. We have a few other pretty good ones as well that popped out. I'm going to read these, so bear with me. Key traits of the Raccoon. Talented, shadowy, in hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times, it limits creativity. Am I who the audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. All right? When in balance, generous friend, exceptional artist. When out of balance, competitive, starving artist. To bring into balance, make new work. Air sign. Air sign. It's pretty good. Maybe some of you are seeing raccoons. Maybe some of you, are called to that kind of energy, especially it being an earth element. Next card up, we have the elk. Elk. I really enjoy this card too. I'm thinking it's quite lovely. I know it's got red around it. It's kind of like the sun, but it is the new moon in Capricorn, and it is black sun, or black moon. I mean, the black new moon. The last one, we're still sitting in that energy. So if any of you are recognizing any elk, seeing any elk, are called to that energy, this is a synchronicity for you. Elk keywords: stable, resilient, headstrong, the father. And this can be genderless too. The father is just a representation. The gray elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. This means in masculine energy form, not like gender, like I'm saying. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's changes. An elk personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but for the most part, they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk energy. That big E energy. When in balance, supportive, kind, consistent. When out of balance, pretentious, high, and mighty. To bring into balance, eat and drink more consciously. That makes sense. I'm going to share with you a fun fact real quick. We got one more card that popped up. It is the whale, spirit energy, water. I'm going to say a quick fact about the elk. And it's to bring into balance, eating more consciously, eating more mindfully as well. Don't forget that. A little fun fact, there is this practice of pre-digesting your food, and it's called fletchering. I don't know if anybody knows of this. If you do, feel free to speak up. I think it's a funny and pretty useful thing. It's where you like chew your food, I forgot how many X amount of times, a lot. You basically pulp your food in your mouth because your saliva has proteins and enzymes in it that help you break down your food, and it makes it easier for your stomach to absorb nutrients, digest it. It's just way easier on your system. And it's a really good practice for self-discipline, to practice mind over body, just to kind of like start to implement fun, easy, practical ways in your routines. It might take a little while, but it's way better for you. Implementing these routines into your day, you know. There's one fun fact. People have like fletchering parties, and they like get together and chew their food a lot. I forgot. You have to look it up. It's like 48, 96 times, something like that. I don't know. And yeah, I guess you like, because your body can absorb all the nutrients, especially if it's really good, healthy, organic, clean food. And I guess you get really high from it or something. They have great parties for it and enjoy themselves. I'm not saying like you get blast off, but anyways, TMI. Next up, whale energy. Big whale energy. Keywords: desire to delve deeper, profound peace, ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health and stability. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain. Pardon. As they overcome many challenges in their lives, these experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost, and trust them to be the beacon in our darkest hour. When in balance, calm, steady, deeply compassionate. When out of balance, heavy, slips in their story. Slips into old story. Sorry. To bring into balance regular self-care. So for 2025, I'm seeing this balance between your polarities, your energies, your Ida and Pingala, between your masculine and feminine. And I'm seeing this kind of balance that is possible within you, this choice that is possible within you from this raccoon spirit. And I'm finding this artistic, doesn't have to be like you're a musician or anything. Life is a canvas. Paint your own, you know. So air sign, that's a very deep message. I like that very much. For 2025 message here, air signs. Let's go deep, shall we? This one's first. Let's see what message to expect to come in for our air signs here, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me know if you enjoyed that animal spirit reading. I'll do more of them. If you like that, I'll jump into them more deeply. Let me know if you don't like them. That's totally fine too. Let me know if I could tighten up the bolts a bit, because I know I can. I'm probably going to. 2025 message, generosity, 6 of Pentacles. I'm seeing this ebb and flow of generosity that's going to be allowed. We'll be putting out as much as you get in, receive, you know. There is more creation being presented, allowing the universe to return the abundance that you've been deserving. But you have to be generous. You have to get out there. You have to do the do. For air signs, that is very possible. And with air signs, you're more humanitarian-esque. You're more good at being in the environments, adapting to those environments, just because you're just because you are better at in my opinion, reading the room, so to say. In your own opinion. You can read the room and not allow it to affect the room, kind of thing. Which is good. That's a great trait to have. And I find that to be in a lot more up and coming into awakening air sign mindsets. You know, there's just kind of this release of fear that is being stepped into that will open a door to generosity, to abundance, to kindness. And we're getting the Five of Pentacles out on this one next. It is this releasing of the grip of material. And I'm material. That's going to be where the freedom lies. The generosity can come from. It's going to be this sense of oh, brother. It's going to be this sense of pain and anguish to you, but it's really so situational and so contextual, and it's just going to seem big because it's in your mind, and it might make you a little uncomfortable, but it's going to be the showboat of 2025. It's going to be what comes up. Generosity is this cultivation of not charity. You're generous. You will be receiving, but don't be taken advantage of too, I'm hearing. That's another piece of this. You want to keep your whale and elk very balanced. You know, you want to not become a shadow raccoon, right? You want to be in the light. In the light is confidence. In the light is not being distracted. Focus. It is flow. It is peace. I'm not saying it's thrills and chills and spills. It's not happiness. It's not joy. No, it's not. And if you're constantly sitting in that, you are definitely running away from something that you're not addressing. I feel like balance is balance. Like, think of emotions like this. You have this line of emotional on the frequency. Like, these are only so many emotions you can experience, right? And it's like all the way over here on one side, you have peace. And all the way, you have fear. And all the way over here on this side, you have love. All right. And this is your emotional spectrum as a human being, your emotional bandwidth that we're allowed to feel. All right. And right in the center, on this emotional line, right in the center, there's this place where we want to flow into, where masters try to go. And that's where God sits right there. Right in the perfect frequency of peace. Now, we can't get there. We can die and get there. But we can sure get close. And if you notice that this line is here, And it's like balancing. And you are, as experiencing self in your life, you are the balancing teeter-totter, because your emotions go like this on this pendulum, well, on this level, whatever it's called. And this is what we do day to day, thought to thought, constantly. We're like this, like this, like this. But you notice, like, between these moments of fear and drastic love, like, and this is chaos, by the way. If you're going like this, your emotional level's going like this. And if you're not, and we just want to balance, and how we balance are these daily practices. Fucking meditate, do it, journal. It's mindfulness. It works, and it helps you not feel Five of Pentacles out in the cold, no matter what. Gratefulness is a magical spell, period, that allows this pendulum to slowly interact between less drasticness, and you start to, like, not feel fear and love. You start to feel, and like the chaos in between, you start to feel like gratitude, and you start to feel contentment, and you start to feel ease, not dis-ease. You know, you start to feel these things. It literally is a mindset shift. And these mindset shifts reflect into your material pentacles. All right? Not money exactly, and this can be financial, but I can't sit here and make promises. There can be too many thoughts in the ether. But material. So we want to balance that. Be as close to peace as possible, so we can calibrate and so we can relax. That's what it does. It helps your nervous system relax. It helps your chemicals balance out by thought and intention. Yes. 7 of Wands. 2025 is valor. It is, if you have the tenacity for it, you will achieve what you have set for yourself. You will. He is fighting a battle, but he is on top. All right? Because the 8 of Wands comes afterwards. That's the victory. And that's where we're going. That's how we're doing it too. Is being grateful, looking for the signs, subtly, peacefully, not seeking, but seeing the signs. Recognizing them. When you recognize them, you say thank you. And on to the next one, because that's proof that whatever you're doing is the right thing. Yes, we can get thrown out of balance. Yes, we do feel bad. Yes, that is unalignment. But we also are human beings, and we're flexible, and we're capable. And air signs are very adaptable. You know, you can fit into whatever jar. You just are. You're able to jump between groups. You're able to move through things and be through things socially and transparently, if you so choose. You're also good at shutting off, which is okay too. You know, we all have things we need to work on. But the despair that can come from the 5 of Pentacles, feeling this out in the cold, you know, like there's hope, there's a light. And that's what we're saying is, like, you're generous. You just are generous. So you don't have to prove that to nothing. You just are generous. So be, like air, generous. With self and then with others. With self first. than with others. And don't worry about the things around you, because they only take up the space that air can fill. You know? Air's everywhere. But like, if there's, and if you're a science person or whatever, just give me a break. But if there's water in a cup, there's no air in the cup. You know what I mean? So air is everywhere. And the stuff holds on to that. Air signs, we want you to work on connecting to your intuition. We want you to work on what that can mean. Queen of Swords and the Moon. Maybe you are actually doing that, because the Queen of Swords is air. It is air and water in the court cards. She is logical. She is, as a queen too, that's kind of like a inward establishment, more inward referencing, whereas the king would be more external, more masculine energy, more material. She is more yang energy, mindfulness. She is more mind. With the moon, she is, La Luna is intuitive. La Luna is your gut. Burping. Just like that. And that's funny. I'm getting a connection. I know that she is feminine energy, but the Queen of Swords is also really honing in with the elk energy, and the moon to me is really honing in with the whale energy as well. And it's also kind of rare. Yeah, never mind. Because it will be complete. Anyways, I was like, it's also kind of rare that I usually have an unbalanced reading, but I'm still going to keep pulling a couple more cards still. I was like, yeah, okay, we got room for more. But the 5 that I've pulled are really reflecting in on this 5 of Cups energy. So let's get exact with it. Oh, I'm sorry, 5 of Pentacles energy, not Cups. Why did I say Cups? Maybe I said Cups because it's like the feeling. You know? That's exactly it. This 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, let's get exact with this real quick. Hang on a second. I'm sorry, air sign. Bear with me. I love y'all so much. Great teachers in my lives. We're considering new options. Yeah, it's a fear. It's a fear of your poverty, your fear of your loss. It is representing what I would feel as the 5 of Cups. That's why that slipped up. These people are in that energy. You might feel like you're losing something, but you're not. You're losing something to gain something. And it's probably a little redundant to hear, but that really is the truth. It really is that simple. And if you accept that and then forget about it and go about your day, and just like one day you'll see it. And that's just how it works. Keep looking for it. Don't reach for it, look for it. And then when it's presented, then you reach, and then you accept. You have to accept that belief that can be that simple. And it can then be that simple. And you can just do that by like saying repeatedly in your head, 10 times a day. I mean, like literally 10 times a day if you want to, or 10 times literally before bed or something. Like just repeat in your head, I accept that my beliefs flow simply. I accept that my mind is malleable and accepting of the new beliefs bestowed in me from, and I say you, from you. Because that's who I'm addressing. This is solid, actually. I feel like this is what air signs are looking for. Especially with Pluto moving into Aquarius, being in Aquarius. Like it's broadening your consciousness on a soul plutonic level. A slow, almost unrecognizable until it's recognized. And then the recognizing happens daily. So it just kind of snowballs into this real perceptional experience. What blockages could be hindering our air signs for 2025? Blockages to watch out for. Four of Swords reversed. So what blockages? Cut out distractions and just try to be. I feel like for the air sign collective, it will be so important, especially because things like, besides all of astrology, especially with Pluto just moving into Aquarius, all right? And then us moving into your birth month next month. Well, I'm so sorry. I'm thinking Aquarius. I have a lot of Aquarius around. But especially moving in this year as your birthday months progress and the sun starts to hit in and shining and illuminating a lot of that stuff. We're wanting to do a lot more shadow work right now, and we're wanting to try to cut out those distractions. So we want to really mindfully try to become more mindful. Whether that means meditating, whether that means literally chewing your food more and fletchering, whether that means moving your body mindfully, intentionally going for a walk, intentionally jogging, intentionally working out, intentionally moving different, intentionally brushing your teeth with a different hand, trying cold showers. Do these things. Intentionally cutting something out of your diet that you know is bad for you. Intentionally putting something in your diet that you know is really good for you and that you've always wanted to try. Intentionally trying new things. There are so many things that you can do to start to break the shit off your pineal gland that is eventually going to open connection, receiving, connection, receiving, connection, receiving, sending, receiving. And that's what is gained. And you want to be mindful, and I really feel like meditation it's just the powerhouse of all of it. The powerhouse of all of it. One day, when you don't have stuff to do, like survival mode. I'm not saying, like, you can put chores off. You really can. You can put things off a day. You really can break out of your routine to create new routines. It's weird, but who fucking cares? Air sign? Who the fuck cares? Really? Nobody else cares but you. Nobody. Like right now, what's the worst thing that could happen if you acted differently in front of somebody that is in a position to speak their mind, huh? They would probably be like, what are you doing? And then you'd be like, I'm meditating, and then they'd be like, what's the worst thing they could say? You're stupid, and walk off, and you'd be like, okay. Like, don't, like, it's not a big deal. You can do anything you want to do is what I'm saying, and you should do what you are called to do. For me, I like to meditate, I like to cook, I like to create things, I like to do tarot, I like to think, like, but that's all just me. So you are you. And by losing these binds and ties to things that are not serving you, to too much, to the want or need for more stuff, for completion, we're cutting that out. There's the balance. Oh, I see you. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. These guys are funny. We're cutting it out so we can connect to our minds. Just being, when you are trapped in a routine and cyclical imprisonment of your day-to-day, is not what the being is that we're referring to when we talk about air sign, just be. What we're talking about is hone in some time to offer to yourself with solitude, away from devices and distractions. If you have kids, do the best you can. Seriously, it's okay. And also, you have more than one time to do this. You have as much time as you want and need to do this. The more, the better, obviously, but any is fine. We just don't want you to be guilt tripping yourself for not doing something too. That's very important, because that's detrimental to our health. I do that. I mean, I'm just saying, like, we should be advised of that. We don't want to stress ourselves out for the, I should be doing this, I would be doing that, I blah, 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 blah. I fucking do that all the time, and it's hard. That's a trap. And that's a very, I've been learning a lot of that stemming from things like childhood traumas. And I'm saying that word just because that's how it's labeled. It's not a detriment. It's just how we were programmed from and conditioned from the people, how they were programmed and conditioned. And we all accept that. But those are technically considered to be traits stemming from things like CPTSD and stuff like that. And it doesn't have to be childhood trauma. It's just that's one of the most common ones. It can come from adulthood trauma, relationship abuse and stuff like that, psychological abuse, not just narcissism, things like that. It can come from all kinds of things. But it's a form of CPTSD. And probably some other things too. That tell us that we're not good enough. That tell us, that basically fuel our ego. That's it. And that's how you start to relate psychology to the mystical. You start to really connect the dots, understanding that these cards explain a psychological experience that we experience as human beings in our stories. We all have similar-esque stories. We all are born in our infants. We all turn into teenagers, experience these hormones, these life changes. We all turn into young adults, and then adults, middle-aged, and then we'll turn into senior citizens, and we all experience the same form and fabric of story, all with different bindings, with different literature, with different vernacular, with different fonts, though. We're all different, but we're all creating a book of ourselves, right? So we don't want to fuel that ego. I got a little off topic there, sorry. I feel like somebody needed to hear that. And so it's okay. And it's going to be okay. And we want to flip that Four of Swords into a peaceful mindset on that bandwidth of that emotional understanding and experience that we have. A really good thing that I like to do, actually, I started doing for myself, and I didn't learn how to do it. Singing. I sing in the car by myself, and I put my heart into it, like nobody's around. And that is such a good release. I had no idea. I was feeling very, very depressed for a very long time. And one day, fairly recently, in like the last few months, I was in my car and there was this beautiful song I love all the time. And then I found this cover of it from this girl, and it was so good. I just started singing it. And it was the only song I wanted to sing. I knew how to sing. I loved to sing. And I sung that song every day to and from work. And it repeated in my head. I just loved it. I want to learn it. It wasn't about the song so much as it was the experience I was providing myself. I was releasing emotions. I full on had somatic releases. I was bawling. I was crying. It made me feel so good, and it brought positivity back into my life. At the bottom of this deck, we have the Nightingale card, and I was hearing, sing it, baby. Sing it, baby. Like, and it's air. And I was just like, okay. That really helped out a lot. It was very practical. I had no idea. Very practical, works great. Now I enjoy it, and I'm feeling a lot better. Really, due to expressing my throat chakra more and stepping more into my truth, my power, because that's where your truth and power really are expressed to you, from you, by you, for you. All right. And we like to sit sometimes, especially as air signs, you don't want to be sitting down low in the root chakra and stuff. You don't want to be sitting down in earth. Air and earth, they really don't go great together. That's why they open up the reading also in the pentacles, and it's very material, and it's earth energy. And it's just unfamiliar, or uncomfortable. It's just not quite there. That's okay. What might quite get us there, to get to where we want to be with that Queen of Swords, your card, your element, your suit, mixed in with heart feeling and trust of thyself. All right? Trust in thyself. And follow your heart. Follow your intuition. Follow your gut. Allow your mind to logically discern your own truth. And how you do that is just by how do you feel about the things you're thinking about. Okay. How do you feel about the things you're doing? How do you feel about the things you think you want to do? How do you feel about what you want to think? How you want to think? How do you feel about how you want to be? Those little changes in the words we're implying there, I mean, by literal understanding, it's not a small change in a sentence I'm using. Those are drastic differences in spells. It's like, instead of saying the word can't, no, it's won't. There is no such thing as can't. You can do everything and anything. It's that you won't. So why won't you? Why aren't you? How can you make this be? And then just one step at a time, become it. Step into that. We have a whole year. We have a whole year until next year, the year of completion, like 10. 9 is the completion, shedding the skin of a snake. It is going to take a little time, patience, and it will happen. Beautiful cards, air signs. I feel complete with this here. Give me a takeaway card for after this reading. We've been made aware of this energy. Spirits, please show us what card we can take away. Really, that Four of Swords is a really good takeaway card, but I want to pull one for you specifically. After everything that I've said and been presented here, one card that you can just sit with. If you don't have your own decks and you're not one to use your own tarot or anything, this is your card. Look it up. It was meant to be shown for you, all three of you signs here now today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have the Six of Cups. Innocence. So that's good. I feel like, just real quick, back to the animal oracles, the whale as the feminine, there's a lot of emotional energy there. She's balanced. She might be a little overbalanced, you know. Big whale in a big ocean. There's a lot of emotion. And then the elk over here. All right. This doe here on the Six of Cups is just the beginning of that elk energy that we're talking about. For whoever you are, male or female. You're a young doe or a young buck in the woods. There's progress to be. And we want to keep humility throughout this whole process, okay? We want to keep innocence throughout this whole process. I feel like, you know, that's the difference between a gentle summer breeze and a storm. Okay? Air signs? And a hurricane. There is a fine line. It could just be by the butterfly effect, the shift of the butterfly's wings somewhere else, and we got a hurricane. So innocence is the name of the game. And with that, don't be hard on yourself if you slip up in whatever that means to you. It will be okay. And you always have a second chance in life with everything. You do. You do. Especially if you're accountable and have these good traits, you know? Like, keep working on self. That's the most important thing you got. Air signs, I'm complete. Six of Cups with you today. I'm going to send out some good energy and bless for 2025 as I take a deep breath. You can join me if you would like, please. Here we go. Air signs. Much love, my friends. I'll see y'all next time.